On a scorching June night in 2025, hotel towers on the Las Vegas Strip stood eerily quiet, rooms unsold, corridors echoing with absence. Visitor numbers had dropped by over 11%, the sharpest collapse since the Great Recession, and even the casinos downtown saw occupancy sink to levels not seen in over a decade. Everyone asks, how can Vegas, the world's party capital, suddenly feel so vacant when the official narrative still boasts billion-dollar gaming wins? This is why Vegas is empty again and nobody's talking about it. A story where data tells of vanishing crowds, but nearly everyone misses the forces, fees, policy shifts, and digital competition, reshaping the fate of an entire city. If Vegas can empty out overnight, what does that mean for the rest of us? June 2025 set new records, but not the kind Las Vegas wants. Visitor numbers fell to just over 3 million for the month, down 11.3% from the year before. That's the sharpest monthly drop since 2009, back when the city was still reeling from the Great Recession. Hotel occupancy landed at 78.7%, which means more than 1 out of every 5 rooms sat empty, even as summer crowds should have been packing the Strip. Downtown, the picture was even starker, just 62.5% of rooms filled, leaving entire floors quiet on weeknights. Revenue per available room, or RevPAR, dropped to $128.78, down nearly 14% in a single year. The average daily room rate slid as well, settling at $163.64, a 6.6% decline. Air passenger arrivals weren't spared either, falling by 6.3% compared to last June. For the first half of 2025, Las Vegas counted 19.5 million visitors, about 1.5 million fewer than the same stretch in 2024. Every month except January showed fewer people coming to town. These are numbers not seen in over a decade, and they're reshaping the city's rhythm in ways that go far beyond empty hotel hallways. Downtown Las Vegas feels like someone turned down the volume and walked away. On a Tuesday night, entire stretches of Fremont Street sit in silence, the neon still humming, but the crowds missing. Hotel lobbies echo with footsteps that used to blend into a constant buzz. At just 62.5% occupancy, nearly 4 out of every 10 rooms are left untouched, their doors closed for days at a time. Elevators run half empty. The usual parade of suitcases and party hats has thinned to a trickle. Even the casino floors, once packed shoulder to shoulder, look more like oversized waiting rooms. Bartenders polish glasses with no one to serve. Dealers stand behind empty tables, shuffling cards for no one. Air traffic is down too. 6.3% fewer passengers passed through Harry Reid International last month, leaving taxi lines short and shuttle drivers waiting. The city's rhythm feels off. There's a strange stillness in places that used to be impossible to navigate without bumping into someone. In some hotels, you can walk a full floor without hearing a single voice. The quiet isn't just in the numbers. It's stamped into the mood of downtown itself, a city built for crowds now echoing with its own emptiness. June's empty hotel hallways didn't happen by accident. 2 of the Strip's biggest summer conventions, InfoComm and Cisco Live, skipped town this year, taking nearly 50,000 business travelers with them. That left a gaping hole in the midweek calendar, when Vegas usually counts on tech expos and trade shows to fill rooms and keep restaurants buzzing. Without those crowds, the city's usual rhythm of badge lanyards and after-hours deals just vanished. But even for those still coming, the cost of a Vegas stay has become its own kind of shock. Resort fees now average about $40 a night, and 62 out of 90 hotels raised their fees again in 2025. It's not just the room. Want a fridge at Park MGM? That's a daily charge too. The nickel and diming runs deep from parking to Wi-Fi to early check-in. Back in the early 2000s, a comped buffet or a cheap upgrade was almost a given. Now even basic perks are behind a paywall. Out-of-towners swap stories about sticker shock, and longtime regulars say it feels like the Strip is squeezing every last dollar. The result? Fewer visitors, and those who do show up feel like they're paying more for less. The empty rooms aren't just about fewer people, they're about a city that's become harder to afford, even for those who want to be here. International visitors used to be a steady presence on the Strip, but this summer, the numbers fell off a cliff. Flights from Canada and Mexico, which have always ranked as Vegas's top 2 international markets, saw some of the steepest drops. Air Canada's June traffic was down 33% from last year, and Aeromexico flights fell 22%. Union leaders have pointed to political tension and anti-immigration rhetoric, what some are calling a Trump slump, as a big reason travelers from abroad are staying away. Ted Papageorge, who heads the city's largest hospitality union, has been vocal about how this climate is making Las Vegas less welcoming for international guests, especially from Canada and Latin America. But it's not just politics keeping people home. The heat this summer has been relentless, with temperatures pushing past 110 degrees for days at a time. That kind of weather used to be a draw for pool parties and rooftop bars, but lately it's more likely to send visitors running for air conditioning or skipping Vegas altogether. The people who are still coming look different than before. According to visitor profiles, 64% of last year's tourists made over $100,000 a year. That means the city is relying more on affluent travelers, while the middle and working class get priced out. And for a growing number of would-be visitors, there's no need to brave the heat or pay for a pricey room at all. Mobile gambling and sports betting apps now offer a piece of the Vegas action from home. The Strip's empty sidewalks aren't just about fewer flights or higher fees. They're a sign that the old Vegas mix of crowds from everywhere is quietly being replaced by something smaller, richer, and a lot less global. Sheila Taylor has worked as a housekeeper at Aria for over a decade. This summer, she's watched entire floors go untouched for days, her shift list shrinking along with her tips. She says what used to be a steady $200 night now barely hits $100, and some weeks she's lucky to get called in at all. It's not just her. Bartenders on Fremont talk about empty stools and tip jars that fill half as fast. The Sand Dollar, a favorite for live music, has started canceling shows mid-week. Too few people buying tickets or drinks to keep the lights on. Down in Laughlin, hotels are running at just 54.9% occupancy, with some properties closing off whole blocks of rooms except on weekends. For workers who depend on busy nights and generous visitors, the city's slowdown isn't just a headline, it's a real loss measured in hours, dollars, and the sound of a quiet lobby. Casino floors may look emptier, but the numbers behind the scenes tell a different story. In August 2025, Nevada's casinos pulled in $1.23 billion in gaming revenue, an increase over last year, even as fewer people came to town. The big resorts have leaned hard into squeezing more out of each visitor, focusing on high rollers and premium guests instead of chasing volume. That means fewer comped perks, more targeted offers, and a steady climb in minimum bets. At the same time, companies like Caesars are reworking their balance sheets. Late last year, Caesars sold off the LINQ Promenade for $275 million, using the cash to pay down debt and shore up their core properties. These moves show where the priorities lie, not in filling every room, but in maximizing profit from those who still show up. For the corporations running the Strip, the city's slowdown hasn't meant a loss. It's just a different kind of win. In June 2025, Las Vegas saw visitor numbers drop to 3.1 million, the steepest decline since 2009, according to the LVCVA. Empty hotel floors and falling occupancy rates were matched by a sharp drop in tips for workers, while average daily room rates and resort fees remained historically high. Official records show that missing conventions, rising costs, and international tensions all played a part. Gaming revenue stayed strong, but only because fewer, more affluent guests spent more per visit. The sale of the LINQ Promenade for $275 million underlined how corporations adapted, even as service workers faced real hardship. Yet some questions remain. How much of this decline is temporary, and how much signals a lasting shift in who can afford to come here? The evidence is clear. Las Vegas is no longer the mass market playground it once was. Whether it can reclaim its old promise or must reinvent itself again is a question only time and policy will answer.